you want to become a top trader in 2024, follow this framework called the CRS Framework. If you are a struggling trader or an average trader, you want to follow this framework in order to become a top trader. This is the CRS Framework for top traders. And if I break this down, you will see that there's no top trader that's not following this framework. So the first part of this framework is called C. The C stands for capital. So you agree with me that every struggling trader lacks capital. Okay, the first thing that any top trader has that a struggling trader does not have is capital. If you think about it, right? Tell me any top trader you know that does not have large capital for trading. I can't mention any. All top traders have large capital. So how exactly do you get large capital? Well, you get large capital by trading for a long time. That's the first step. That's the first way to get large capital, right? Let me put it this way, in brackets. Large, right? Large capital. If you want to become a top trader and make a lot of money, you need large capital for trading, right? You can't trade with a $50 account and expect to make $1 million by the end of the year, or trade with a $50 account and expect to make $10,000 by the end of the month, right? It does not make any sense. Okay, so you need large capital if you want to become a top trader. Okay, so how exactly do you get large capital? We are in a time when it's very easy to lay your hands on large capital. There are different ways you come around large capital that you can get large capital, right? You can get large capital to trade by getting investors, right? By attracting investors to invest in you so that they would give you large capital and you trade, make a profit, and maybe you split the profit with your investors. Now, the second way to get large capital is actually through a prop firm. So right now, prop firms are everywhere, right? There's so many prop firms out there. They'll give you a challenge, and if you pass the challenge, they'll give you capital to trade. Okay, so that would be the best option for most people right now. You can get your hands on a 5K account. I've seen a prop firm that even gives a 2K account, and all the way up to 300K account, even a 500K account, right? And if you pass the challenge, they'll give you the capital. Of course, you are going to be trained in a demo environment. So whatever you make on that capital, you split it with the prop firm. So this is the first part of the CRS framework. If you want to become a top trader, you need large capital. So that's the first part. The second part of the CRS framework is R. So what does R stand for? So R stands for risk management. Have you ever seen a top trader that does not manage risk? Personally, I've not seen a top trader that does not manage risk. If you want to become a top trader, you need to learn how to manage risk. You need to learn how to trade with a lot of money. Remember, the first part, capital. So if you're trading with a lot of money, you cannot afford to gamble. You cannot afford to gamble with large capital and just trade without knowing how much you're risking, and just trade without even calculating your losses or preventing huge drawdown on this capital. You don't want to lose your capital. You want to make more money, right? So you need to understand risk management in order for you to manage large capital. So if you want to become a top trader, you need to learn risk management. I have a video where I break down how to where I explain risk management for traders. If you want to learn how to manage risk, I would recommend that you check out that video. I'm going to drop a link to the video in the description below. So risk management is a very, very important aspect of trading, right? If you cannot manage risk, your investors they won't trust you with their money. And if you cannot manage risk, there's no way you will pass a prop firm, a prop challenge, right? Even though you pass the first phase, the second phase is going to be difficult for you. And even though you pass the two phases, you're going to end up blowing the account if you don't know how to manage risk. So risk management is a very, very crucial part to becoming a top trader. So S stands for strategy. So Like, why did I keep strategy for last? Because it's the most important. Like, in this list, the least important in this list is capital, right? Because this is the easiest for you to get. You see, this is more important than capital, and strategy is more important than these two. Why? Because if you don't have a good strategy, even though you know how to manage risk, you will still end up an average trader. Let me show you this graph, right? Look at this graph. So we have a spectrum, right? Now, in this is your strategy. If you don't know how to manage, if you don't have a good strategy, this is your strategy, and this would be risk management. Now, what you want is to have an equilibrium, right, between your strategy and your risk management, right? You want to know how to manage risk, and you want to have a good strategy so that there will be a balance between the two of them. That's how you'll be able to keep the money you make, and that's how you'll be able to make more money. If you don't know how to balance your strategy and risk management, you won't be able to make or keep any money that you make. And if your risk management, if you know how to manage risk but you don't have a good strategy, you make, like, you'd prevent excessive drawdown, but your equity is still going to, money is still going to leave your account. So the most important thing is your strategy. You need to have a good strategy, right? You need to have a really good strategy and understand your strategy. Now, one thing about strategy is there is no holy grail strategy, like a 100% win rate strategy. No, nobody has a strategy that wins all the time. Okay, you can have a strategy that wins more times than it loses, right? Or you can have a bad strategy that does not help you to win. So you want to have a strategy that you understand, that you trust. So how do you do that? How do you get a strategy that you trust and you understand? You do that by back testing. You do that by forward testing. You do that by stress testing, and you do that by paper trading, right? Now, when you watch YouTube videos, right, and you see another trader explaining his strategy to you, if you see it working out, it's going to look really simple, right? To watch a strategy on YouTube is very easy, very simple. Like, you just watch it. The trader tells you, this is what you do, this is what you look out for, this is what you aim for, this is the time of day you should trade, and all of that. It's very easy to see that trader explain his strategy. But for you to really understand that strategy, you have to practice it. You have to use it for yourself, right? By demo trading it, right? Paper trading it. You have to trade it on a demo environment and see that, okay, it works. Sometimes it does not work. So the more you practice using that strategy, the better. Okay, so this is the framework that every top trader uses. If you can find any trader that's a top trader in the top 10% of trading that does not use this framework, I'll delete this channel. I'm very confident that you won't find any trader in this world that's a top trader in the top 10%, right? That does not have large capital, does not know how to manage risk, and does not have a strategy. You won't find it. So if you want to become a top trader, follow the CRS strategy and thank me later.